Hello guys, today I'm gonna talk about Doom Eternal's history, backstory, and an Easter egg, the secret family of Doomguy. This video will be heavily packed with speculations and theories. The first thing that we're gonna tackle is the history of the Sentinals. Translation from the Book of Kings. In the days before man first spoke, an immense shard of rock and metal was cast onto the world from the heavens. Thunder and cataclysmic shook the land as the skies were torn asunder. The cosmic spear cleft a hole through our mortal lands, pole to pole, from the cold wastes of the umbral plains to the feet swamp of Iron Fang. The womb of the world opened, and the elemental wraiths, the firstborn, spilled forth. They took to the skies, fierce in their emancipations. In their exhaustion, they brought vitality to the land, and all that felt their breath were awakened in their eternal slumber. Fierce beasts and an unforgiving biosphere rose in the passing of their shadow as the wraith call echoed across Argent Nur. First came the ancestrals, feral creatures invigorated by the magic of the wraiths. They grew to enormous heights, mighty behemoths who waged war with each other for years untold. Their battle tore the land asunder and destroyed all creation caught in their wake. The wraith call continued to spread across the land, and soon the Argenta emerged from the steppes, our souls stride into form by the power of their breath. The Titans tower over the wild-blooded tribes, but found them uncowed. The secret of the sword was discovered, and in the darkness of sweltering mountain forges we beat steel until it was strong enough to pierce bone and sever flesh. Thus we came to be, born of rock and fire, lowly in birth, but risen by strength of our will, by the blessedness of the first ones. We forged sword and shield and took the hammer to the ancestrals. We claimed dominion of creation by right of blood and magic, and the time of man came to be. With the ancestral beasts driven back to their bleak valleys, we rose. We tilted the fertile land, husband beasts of burden, and built towering cities. In the hallowed palace, on the obsidian throne, we crown King Ormero the Father, the first of the line that shall wait in perpetuity. We build a cathedral of reflection to worship the first ones, and form the Order of the Dig, whose priests pay tribute to the wraiths and appease their tempestuous hunger. Our sons and daughters choose the path of the sword or the path of the alchemist, for each duty honors the gods. Though our ways were righteous, we were not without strife. Storms and great quakes cast our spires down. Barbaric tribes laid siege to our fields in search of great gifts Mother Argenta has bestowed upon our work, and the song of the wraith call threatened to drive lesser men into madness. We were not lesser men. We defended that which the first ones gifted to us our lands and rights to the bounty held within. We beat back the barbarian hordes and hardened our resolves. We rose above the fire, our bodies and soul tempered, and an unbreakable will was shaped in the forge of battle. What emerged was the heart of our legion, the order of the Night Sentinels. Given this backstory and information, one of my theories about the origins of the Shard and race could be that this is one of the three primordial entities that govern the multiverse. The first one being the father of Urdak. Spoils if you were not aware, it's Vega, and the second primordial, the unnamed ruler of hell. You may ask me why I believe this, and how are you sure that they are the first primordials? First of all, this is all speculation on my part, so you can take everything I say with a grain of salt, or downright disagree and don't believe me. But the only thing that I want is to give my take on the lore and history, and maybe I can make others see the way I see. So, first, the multiverse theory and the primordials, and how this take of the story mirrors in our own universe. In the beginning, it was chaos, pure energy expanding violently in the vacuum of space, with no shape and no control over itself. But after eons, this chaotic energy started to take form. And not just one form, but many forms, stars, planet, and life itself. Thus, from chaos came order, and one of the purest form and the embodiment of order was the Father. Seeing how the universe is still evolving and expanding, the Father split itself to create more like him, to bring order and prosperity in the universe, to give a helping hand to the unfortunate species that were not blessed as him and his children. But where it's light, there's also a shadow. And after a time, the second being to emerge from the chaos was the Dark One, the ruler of hell, and its sole desire and purpose was to reduce the state of order that the universe was in, to return everything to chaos once more. Thus, the battle of order and chaos began. We can only speculate that this battle was fought from the beginning of time, but the universe had one more combatant to throw in this conflict, a species who can embody chaos and order, the humans. Thus, in every universe was from this unique combatant, a creature that is not bound by order or chaos, a creature that can choose what path he wants, not bound by his birth of chaos or order, but by his will to become what it wants. And so balance was set. This weak but cunning creature can tip the scales of order or chaos. But with their creation, there was another primordial born, and that is balance. While order and chaos have their avatars respectively, so does balance, and it was reflected by humanity. They can choose between order and chaos, but can also choose balance. Balance is not given in neither of those concepts, but to use elements of both orders to create a new one. In my vision, the shard of metal that the planet of Argent Denor was struck could be a parallel to the asteroid that hit our own planet, thus creating the human race. And to even make more similarities, the ancestrals of Argent Noor could be a reference to our own giant beasts, the mammoths, and the other giant creatures that our own ancestors had to kill to stay alive. I hope I made sense and made you see the similarities. The next thing that I want to talk is about the fall of Urdak and the Maykrs. After the Maykrs found the humans, aka Argent Noorians, they initially wanted to help them, and in return they to help back, to prosper together. But after one fateful day, when the Outlander appeared in Argent Noor, everything was about to change forever. Soon after his arrival, hell invaded the planet, destroying and transforming the creatures and the people. The Maykrs and the Argents respond fast to their attack, but after a time, their will began to falter, thinking that these creatures were never ending and their actions are in vain. But after some time, an unholy discovery will turn the tides of battle. After capturing a living specimen, a cruel and barbaric experimentation began, thus realizing what gave these creatures the power and discovered Argent energy. But this discovery was the beginning of their downfall. The Maykrs were enthralled by the magic that the demons possessed. The capability to heal great wounds, to never age, to receive great power in brute strength and magical prowess. The possibilities were endless. But with this great discovery, a great problem arrived. The current Khan was swayed by the promise of this great power, and she wanted this great power only for her people and her own benefits. But her advisor, Samuel the Seraphim, seed this change, and after learning what was the process to get this power, he immediately did everything he could to stop her. He took the father away so that he will not be in danger from her actions, and blessed the one warrior that had shown to be uncorruptible by the demons, and with an unyielding resolve and rage. After these actions, we are not presented with no more information of what happened to him, but we can safely assume that Samuel is in fact Samuel Hayden. And the most condemning evidence is when you bring him back to the fortress of Doom, and this happens.
You have now destroyed 68% of Hell's occupying force. Without the priests, the demons will not consume Earth as the Maykr had planned. But there is still one priest left, and I have lost his signal. I can no longer locate him. Dr. Hayden will be able to find him. Dr. Hayden is transferring himself into your ship's mainframe. The architecture is similar to his own. This will...
Final priest is hiding in Sentinel Prime. The Khan Maykr does not want him to be easily found.
This is a Sentinel and Maykr technology, but more, and I cannot stretch this enough, this ship has more Maykr technology than Sentinel. And the reason that Vega doesn't need a super cooling facility like on Mars is that this ship was made by Maykrs and could support him Next is the priests, and what are the blue coins that disappear when you kill them? The priests were a part of the Order of the Dead, an order that worshipped the wraiths, but after the arrival of the Maykrs, that started to change. The priests were corrupted and tricked the Doomslayer and his companions to assault the base of hell that made Argent Energy to end this war. But they were deceived and walked right into a trap. His companions fought to the bitter end, but alas, all died, and the Doomslayer was once again alone in the face of the hordes of hell. The souls of the priests are bound with their respective guardian, and so, if the priest's body is destroyed but the guardian lives, they will come back from the dead once more. The Doomslayer needs to kill the guardians of the priests so that he can permanently kill them. The first and second priest, we were never presented with their guardians, but the last one we are, the Gladiator. He is the last guardian of the final priest, and after we kill him, we are presented with the cursed talisman. It seems that if you kill the priest and then present their body with the talisman, they are killed permanently. And now we're gonna talk about Doomguy's secret family. The lucky few that got to see this Easter egg, I envy you. The people that got the game before the Day 1 patch could see this Easter egg of what is presumably Doomguy with his family. Some say that this is Commander Keen and his family, but after a closer inspection we can see that this is false. The wife and the child have blonde hair, unlike Keen and his mother that have red hair, and it makes me think that in fact this is Doomguy family. And Daisy was the pet rabbit that he got for his son. Now, with this in mind, I see this dialogue in a different light.
I know of what you have left behind. Go back to it then. Leave this crusade. You cannot save them. They have asked me for this, and so I give it to them. If you let the priest live, then I will return to you what the demons took from you so long ago. You need only turn back, and it will be yours again. All the pain you carry will be gone.
Now, some of you will say, wait, Doomguy was a virgin. And my answer is yes. In the OG games, Romero stated that he was, but now with a different team, they could reform his old backstory but still remain the same character. I understand some issues, but I think we will see in the DLC if they will confirm this or not. But for me, and I assume many others, on a story and motivation point, it's a more convincing of a story plot and explanation for his rage. Contrary to, they killed his pet rabbit, now go kill the demons. I mean, don't get me wrong. If someone kills someone's pet, they will not be happy and want to kill the bastard. But in my opinion, it's a weak excuse and doesn't hold much weight. But if you kill his entire family and his pet rabbit, then oh God, may the Lord have mercy on the bastard's soul. Those demons fucked up big time. And they could come and say that the hallucinations that he has with Daisy could be his coping mechanism for losing his family, remembering that when Daisy was around, times were simpler and happier. I don't know. Call me a sucker for cheesy, predictable, and corny stories and moments, but they are funny and memorable in my eyes. They could have removed that photo eitherly for the upcoming DLCs, or they abandoned the idea entirely. I guess we will see in the future what will happen. So, yeah, this is my take. Stay safe, guys. Stay safe.
Give me back my innocence, 'cause I wish